We're going live now.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And welcome back, everyone, to Season 3 of Star Trek Livingstone. Whoop whoop, Episode 1 of Season 3. Here we are, and we have a full house tonight. So welcome one and all to our virtual tabletop roleplay game, Star Trek Adventures, from the company Modiphius and their 2D20 system that we play here, in case you didn't already know. And going round our virtual table tonight, first and foremost, Alastair, happy Burns Night.
Hello, it's great to be back, Stu. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. Are you celebrating? I mean, obviously you're here celebrating Burns Night. But are you doing anything to celebrate Burns Night?
I think that probably shows how deep my plans are for celebrating non-existence, Stu.
Well, I've even prepared a Burns poem.
How thoughtful.
Do you want to hear it anyway?
I would love to hear it.
It's only a short one. You'll be very pleased to hear. The Selkirk Grace. Some have meat and cannot eat, and some would eat that want it. But we have meat and we can eat, and say the Lord be thank it. There you go. Now it's traditional. Very confused clapping there. It is traditional on Burns Night. That everyone brings a little something, so I think it's only fair, Alastair, that you're bringing an authentic Scottish accent.
I am, although not many people would recognise it, that's for sure.
Not after I've just butchered it anyway.
Yeah. You've got to give it the wee cowering timorous sleeker beastie.
Oh yes, no, that's the way to do it, definitely. Ed,
what panics in thy breast? Is it breasty? We sleek and timorous beastie.
Aye, Tiamus.
Oh, what panics in thy breasty? I think it's something along those lines.
Oh, well-educated people.
Anyway, Ed's here too.
Yeah. So yes,
Legend has it.
Our commander, yes. So, Ed, what are you bringing to our virtual table this evening? Throwing this at you without any chance for preparation.
Well, aside from me, and of course the merch. Obviously, it's an official one. There we go.
Disappeared.
Built-in cloaking device.
Yeah, actually, we did it because the Littlies, the Mooslings are doing things like for what's happening in the world at the moment at school. So we had Chinese New Year last week, so we had some Chinese bits for dinner, and we actually had neeps and tatties for tea tonight, actually. So
honorary Scots.
Well, with my surname.
You're far enough north. We'll take you.
Oh, thanks.
And working our way down the ranks, Matt, we know what you've brought. You've brought a new wife. Congratulations!
Well, I was going to say new bit of jewellery, but yes, no, she's not here. I've lost her already.
Okay. Presumably,
one
you
of
know
us,
where she is.
She's at home. I am definitely not still in the office.
Some things never change.
Yes, it's New Year, it's a new season. Matt's still at work. Yes.
Well, I like the binary there. You have the working from home, which everyone has had, and Matt's just playing from work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is sort of twice. So because we've got a large meeting table in the office as well that also doubles as a Tuesday D&D and board games table. So it's if I'm going to spend my life in this place, I may as well get some enjoyment out of it. But yes, no, thank you, Stu. New bit of jewellery, some additional chattel, but she doesn't like me calling her that.
I wonder why.
To be fair,
shocking.
I've been referring to her as my ex-fiance.
It's when you
I found the most effective way to do it is to no, current wife.
Yes.
That just keeps them on their toes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And yes, so Chris, you're bringing the single life clearly to us,
Yes. Well, not. Yes. Well.
to this
Yeah.
virtual table.
Yes. I am. I mean, I could spend hours going through all of the crap that I've got collected on my desk. If you need me to bring something, I've got a sonic screwdriver. I've got the Livingstone. I've got Starfinder cards.
They're really popular, those are.
Yeah.
By how much?
Yes. Please buy our merch that we don't offer. or sell.
I've got 7 still in stock.
I would like to say I love that Alastair on Burns Night is hanging out with the English, so really sticking to Scottish tradition there.
Absolutely. And even though it was only on screen for like a half a second there, I believe that was the 12th Doctor sonic screwdriver, was it?
It was, yes. This is Peter Capaldi's screwdriver.
Yes.
Nerds.
Yes. He's Scottish.
Yeah.
The nerds in on our stream.
He's a Scotsman.
And allowed to use his accent as well, unlike others.
David Tennant wasn't.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
David Tennant's got an
not.
accent.
He did use. He used his Scottish accent in one episode. It was the werewolf episode. We're up in
that's
Scotland,
right.
and he
Yeah.
pretended to be Scottish, and then Rose tried to do the same and made a fool of herself. And someone who's not going to bring any foolishness to the table whatsoever this evening, we have Amy. What are you bringing there?
Yes. Well, I've come somewhat unprepared, so you'll just have to do with me. That's good enough.
Absolutely. What more can we possibly
I
want?
think that's the best present of all.
And that's why you're my favourite.
Customization to the table, I think.
Not bringing a warp core breach or...
I mean, there's one behind me. It's been there for ages. Was there last year?
We can never really rule that out, Stu.
Yeah.
It's always a potential.
Well, there's not much that we have ruled out so far in this game. I mean, how are we all feeling about season 2 and particularly the ending of that?
Yeah, horrific. I mean, I'm expecting. No, never mind Section 31. I'm expecting a visit from the Imperial Inquisition.
I thought you weren't meant to expect the Imperial Inquisition.
It is one of their chief weapons, I've heard.
That's it. Pretty horrific stuff at the end. But speaking of Section 31, what do we think's going on there?
I'm getting the feeling we've been hung out to dry a bit there.
Usually.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't like us anymore.
They just don't seem to have told us to do very much of late. But I suppose that's part of it. You know, we are supposed to be under the radar and just cracking on, and then when needed, activated.
And also in their defense, we did kind of screw up the last 2 missions we had from Section 31. So they might be putting us on a bit of a long leash right now, or a short leash right now.
Just there's other ships out there who are probably getting the jobs that we would have had. It's like, no, just the other one did it.
And of course, I don't know who you're all talking about.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
How would you?
Section 31? Who?
See, this is why Zankir is the Section 31 representative fighting their corner. And to be fair, it's only, I would say, 2 things that have put you in a little bit of disfavour with them, and that's what you did and what you said. But other than that, yeah, it's all good.
Listen,
good.
we can't be expected to be held accountable to our words or actions, Stu.
Federation may have many faults, but we have only 2. Everything we say and everything we do.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, shall we throw ourselves headlong into Season 3 and see what we say and what we do from here on?
Yeah.
Well, let's pick up, as we always do with these things, or nearly always do with these things, with a log.
First Officer's personal log. Stardate 57381.2. Recorded under security lockout Golf Lima Echo Whiskey 3. Well, that was horrific. But fortunately, we're returning to Narendra Station and hopefully back to the Livingstone. Every pilot knows that each vessel has her own particular charms, but runabout Gantar Torres is keeping hers well hidden. Maybe it's the mission we've just been on with her. We investigated a distress call coming from the Sigma Libre system, only to find a ship some of us had encountered previously, NX07 Philadelphia. We thought we'd seen the last of that and returned it to its own time. Our very first mission was Section 31. I don't know where she's been, but what she brought back with her doesn't bear thinking about. We managed to get away without any fatalities, although poor Davok took the brunt of the horror, having his mind influenced by a being from our deepest nightmares, to the point he took a phaser to himself and lost an eye in the process. We've done our best to make him comfortable, but really he needs the ministrations of Dr. Bosh when we get back. I'm dreading how Reggie will react. Worse, who he's going to blame. I'm having to speak quietly in case our captain hears me mentioning S03E01. Our other crew wouldn't matter so much, being Zankir as well, Davok. I'm keen to know what's happening with Section 31, but no one seems to know for now. Anyway, I better sign off for now. We'll be getting back to the station soon, and hopefully back onto the Livingstone, as long as they finish with the Berrien sweep and engine tweaks that should make operating in the Shackleton Expanse a little bit easier.
And thank you for that. And indeed, the Gantar Torres approaches Narendra Station with the Livingstone maybe looking a little bit more shiny, a little bit more sparkly, possibly due to the Berrien sweep, possibly due to the fact you're on this dingy old runabout. But yeah, looking a bit sparkly in the distance. What would those on board like to do?
Number one, open a channel.
I was going to say, who's on board? It's myself, the captain, it's Davok, Zankir.
So everyone apart from Bosh, I think.
It's up from Bosh, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, yes. Opening a channel to Narendra Station, Captain.
One injury and request permission to dock.
Yes, permission to dock granted. Injury, you said you wish to beam directly to sick bay?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. So you can use the runabouts transporters to transport two people directly to sick bay. Before we decide which two of those are, one of them is presumably going to be Davok, otherwise that's going to be embarrassing.
No, I'm fine.
And I was concerned about Commander Wraal's severe ankle strain.
So yes, hello. Sorry, I've not said hello. Hello to those in chat and those watching. So Dr. Bosh, you get a call on your communicator while you've been relaxing around the station, maybe doing the odd discreet deal here and there, whilst the rest of the crew have been off gallivanting. You get a call summoning you to sick bay on the station.
On my way.
And you turn up. So who is beaming over along with Davok?
I recommend the counsellor takes Davok over whilst I park this runabout.
Agreed.
And
Very well.
Start parking the runabout. And over in sick bay, Dr. Bosh, you walk into sick bay, and beaming into sick bay, you see Zankir, and you see Davok, and Davok has the most horrific wound to his face. Tell you what, let's... So, we're starting the game, obviously, with no momentum. Normally mention this right at the very beginning. But I start, of course, with 2 threat per player. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 threat I'm starting the game with. Those are the rules. Check them out.
Sure.
They're the rules that I just made up.
But that is the rules, isn't it?
I'm going to give you, Doctor, an opportunity to earn some momentum, though. Upon seeing Davok, you can give me an insight and medicine roll, difficulty 0. But give me that roll anyway.
Sorry, a what in medicine?
Insight and medicine.
Great, that is 2 successes, a 14 and a 12. But luckily, I have 15 in the combined totals.
Perfect. So you get 2 momentum. Off to a flying start there. And instantly, Dr. Bosh, you'd see it's a horrible burn to Davok's face, consistent with phaser fire.
That looks quite nasty, Mr. Davok. Did you get in the way of something you shouldn't have?
Feels like it.
I mean, if you ever want some advice, I would say that rule number 112 would stand by is never have sex with the boss's sister. I'm presuming that's what was going down when this happened.
You know me so well.
Hold still. Would you like a scar? You've got the limp. I didn't know if you wanted the full kind of... I can probably a nice dueling scar out of this if you wish, or if you... How's the eye looking?
I don't think I've got an eye in there anymore, do I?
With your role previously, there is no eye remaining.
Not a problem.
Options are prosthetic, working prosthetic, or bionic, if you prefer, or just to seal it over with no scar, or seal it over and leave it scarred. They're your 4 options.
Mr. Davok, you have a choice. I can give you a match. You won't be able to see out of it. I can give you a bionic eye that we can change the colours of, I believe. Or I can give you a Martok.
I don't know. What would be the most common repair in universe?
In universe would be a prosthetic eye that works, a bionic eye, basically.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
I can probably find you an upgrade to change the shape of your pupil if you wish, or would you just like the standard?
I think a standard would be fine.
Suit yourself.
Yeah.
And so I'll go and replicate a matching bionic eye, and she probably needs a little bit of surgery. It might take an hour or so just to just pop up onto the bio bed. We will get started.
That is going to take some time, and as Dr. Bosh does his ministrations, we'll do a roll later on to see how effective he is at that. Meanwhile, over on the Gantar Torres parks up with a thunk. Incoming hail. It's still beeping. Would one of
Captain?
you like to answer it?
Come in, Moscow. Come in, Moscow. This is Red Dog. Over.
Greetings, Brandra Station.
Yes, Captain. You recognise the voice
Hello.
of Admiral Hubbard.
It's for you,
Thank
sir.
you, Admiral Hubbard.
Yes, Captain, due report directly to my office, please. Matter of urgency.
Understood, Admiral. I'm on my way.
I hate it when he sounds like that.
Sounds like he's in a blind rage.
Yeah, exactly. It's all fine with Colin. He's already very friendly at the start.
My prediction: he's getting promoted.
Even even worse is.
What about that last mission? Went well.
We're still alive.
Yeah.
Any civilians a lot this time? Yes.
Yeah.
So, Captain, are you heading over on your own with your first officer? Are you?
I will invite anyone who's present to join us. So, Commander Wraal, or no, in fact, it's just Wraal and I left on the ship now, isn't it? So yes, the two of us will
No one here but us.
make our way to the Admiral's office.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and yet the two of you beep at the outside of the office. You hear the Admiral's dulcet tones. Just come in, and the door opens.
I think Ralph's beamed there.
he's done the wise thing. And he
Yeah, so
made the last minute. Yeah.
My camera's completely can't it, so I'll just go back to the older original one. Yeah, carry on.
In a subspace vacuole of some description, I think. Yeah. And yes, yes, Captain, yes, and Commander. Yes, please sit down.
Good to see you again, Admiral.
Just check if there's any biscuits out.
Yes, I'll. I mean, you might think this is about your last mission. Well, I'll look forward to a report on that, obviously, in due course. But, Captain, I wanted to speak to you on a bit of a personal matter, I suppose, in a way. Whilst you've been gone, whilst you've been gone on your last mission, I'm afraid there's been a little restructuring. It's happened over my head, but your chief engineer, Mr. McGill, has been reassigned, I'm afraid. Admiral Ross came and on board the Bellerophon and shipped him away on the direct orders, I have to say, of Vice Admiral Janeway.
Well, McGill's a fine engineer. I'm sure he'll do a credit to whichever vessel he's been assigned to.
Well, from what I understand, he's not going to be serving on a vessel, but in particular, it's his warp propulsion knowledge that's quite useful. I was struggling to get really any details at all, but I did get the name Project Protostar. Now, apparently it's a bit of a secret project, so I've not been able to get anything barring the name. But yes, he's off to work on that, I'm afraid.
Well, I wish him the best on that assignment, and I'm sure I will hear from him and keep you up to date, Admiral, with how his work progresses and how life is treating him.
Possibly, yes, possible. But yes, now obviously you're without a chief engineer at the moment. I recommend, for the time being, until we can find a more permanent replacement, I recommend you utilise your Lieutenant Davok.
Agreed.
Skills with engineering matters, I believe.
Once Mr. Davok has recovered from wounds sustained on the last mission, I'm sure that he will make a fine chief engineer.
Wounds?
Yes, unfortunately, Mr. Davok sustained a phaser wound to the eye on our last mission and is currently in sick bay, recovering from that injury in the capable hands of Dr. Bosh.
Oh my goodness! Did you have a run-in with the Romulans? They did promise us that they were cooperating and giving us permission to enter the neutral zone.
Unfortunately, well, I'll detail it more in my report, Admiral. But sufficient to say that we had some very unusual experiences on the away mission with the mysterious reappearance of a ship that seemed to have a very malign and harmful psychic effect on our crewmates.
Sorry, did you say the ship did?
There appeared to be some sort of unknown substance coating the ship. We managed to get everyone else off without injury, but Mr. Davok had some sort of psychic reaction to it.
Right. This sounds like perhaps I need a report quite urgently. Can I dismiss you to write that report for me? Post haste, please, Captain.
Absolutely, Admiral.
Mr. Wraal, if I can just have a brief word with you whilst the captain's off doing that. Dismiss, Captain.
Good day, Admiral.
See you later, Captain. Certainly, sir. Settled.
And yes, once the captain leaves, the Admiral's just going to look at Rod. Has he been drinking?
Okay. No, sir. He's as sober as a judge. Well, at least a Federation judge. I wouldn't recommend it against a Klingon judge.
Right. Okay. There was a cryptic message for your ears only from Vice Admiral Janeway that McGill was getting a bit close. She said you'd know what that meant.
Well, I do believe that McGill and our captain had served together before. Maybe Admiral Janeway thought that was a conflict of interest, perhaps.
Possibly.
She does like to shake up command assignments here and there.
Indeed. Well, I expect you'll want to find out how your Mr. Davok's getting on if he was injured. Very well, thank you very much, Mr. Wraal.
So if I can, I'll let you know how report on Mr. Davok's condition to you as soon as we found out.
Very well. Dismissed.
Thank you, sir. Get out as quickly as possible.
So, well, we know what Bosh is doing. We know where Davok is. What's Zankir doing?
He's probably sticking with the doctor and trying to help as best he can, because Zankir has some medical training as part of being a counsellor. So, just trying to assist with the healing.
Okay. Now, as a counsellor, obviously, his medical knowledge is not so much the physical. So, in what way? I mean, I'm guessing counselling Davok might be.
Yeah, I mean, Zankir does have a little bit of physical medical knowledge as well, just as part of the training that he received prior to becoming a counsellor. Now, he's not as adept, obviously, as Dr. Bosh is, so it's mostly just holding things that he's doing.
I'm with you.
And
sure.
talking Davok through everything and making sure Davok's okay.
Right.
It's going to be hard work with a Vulcan, isn't it?
Especially if you're colourblind.
And how does that make you feel, Mr. Davok?
How did you feel about that? Did you feel at all?
No.
No.
Well, let's ask the question. How does Davok feel at the moment?
Davok is not sure why he's ended up in the situation that he's ended up in. And I guess he's in a bit of shock as to what's happened. I mean, who blows out their own eye? Certainly not a Vulcan.
No. No, it's not the most logical thing in the world.
Nope.
Captain, is it fair to assume that you're off writing a report?
I am, yeah. Sat down at a desk somewhere, dictating furiously.
Okay, and Wraal, are you heading straight to sick bay?
Actually, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm assuming that Davok is in quite capable hands, has got all the visitors he'd ever going to want in his entire life, and is probably a bit embarrassed at that sort of level of attention. I'm going to go to the Livingstone and see if I have a nosy round and see how she is.
Well, indeed, the Baryon sweep has been completed. Some crew members have started sort of returning to the ship, but at the moment it's pretty quiet. Yeah, pretty quiet at the moment. But you say how she is? Clean.
Excellent. I'm assuming I can get access. I can just get back on board.
You absolutely can.
Okay. In that case, I'll head to the Livingstone's bridge if possible, and take my normal seat at the con if there's no one there, and just see if I can have a look through the ship systems and see if everything's there that should be there.
Okay. While that is happening, then, Dr. Bosh, talk me through your procedure that you plan to do. Give me a rough outline. I'm not expecting.
Why did that sound like you said it in inverted commas?
No, I'm not expecting a detailed medical procedure, but just a rough idea.
I am going to double check that she doesn't want sort of the additional hollow package where she can record what she sees into hollow data to be used for perfectly legitimate hollow programs. I'm presuming you don't want that, Mr. Davok.
I mean, that sounds useful. Is it legit? Like, is this like black market stuff that you're talking about?
I mean,
or shush, just do the normal thing.
He's going to offer Davok the heated seat package next.
I'm not paying monthly for that.
You want one that shoots laser beams?
I think I've had enough of lasers.
So I am going to have Davok on the bed, bring the kind of thing that comes over the top on the bi-beds to sort of secure cortical stimuli. The other thing to like knock her out, then clean out the inside of any free build up. We got access to nanotech at this point.
Some nanotech. What did you have in mind?
Just to kind of any of the bits in there, just sort of rebuild it and make sure that the connections. If I've got something to give a bit of an extra zhuzh to it.
I don't want you doing anything weird, Bosh.
You're already out cold.
I thought eye stuff you had to be awake for.
Not another tattoo.
Yeah, you don't need nanotech for that. There's and I've forgotten the name of it. There is that device that basically rebuilds skin and causes it to be knocked together.
The dermal regenerator.
Dermal regenerator. Thank you. It actually doesn't just apply to the epidermis. It also can stimulate bone growth and cartilage growth and nerve.
Because I would have thought that with the face damage, she'd have at least damaged the cartilage to the cheekbone and probably part of the eye socket if the eye is completely gone, depending on how far.
We do a specific roll to see if I get my eyebrow back.
We are coming right onto that. So the intention is to basically rebuild the entire socket around the eye, exactly as it was before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. So the cleaning up of it, the removal of the sort of dead flesh, that's the easy part. This is just the regeneration. This is going to be daring and medicine. Now you're going to be assisted by the station's computers and medicine, which, if you give me a moment,
Could I also roll to assist on that, Stu?
So from what you said, you're holding things.
And, emotional support and wiping the doctor's brow.
Okay. I'll say yes, because there's a chance that you'll get a roll of 20. So yes. Yes, you can.
Now,
daring medicine on the assistant.
Do not roll a 20.
I do also have a focus that I think will apply.
Go on.
Trauma surgery.
Yes.
Oh.
Definitely. That applies. So the, what do we say, computers and medicine is a total of 15 from the station, and your difficulty
And
is
I just
3.
roll. I just roll 1 for an assist, right?
You roll 1 dice for an assist. Yes.
That's a 4.
So that's pass.
That's 1 success. Who's going to roll for the station? Davok should roll for the station,
Yeah.
I think, as it's your
I'm
eye.
going to roll the 20, aren't I?
You're on the slab.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
A 5.
Promising.
2
Alright.
successes. You want 1 more success, Dr. Bosh? You do have 2 momentum as well.
I got a 9 and a 6.
They both successes.
They are. I've got 9 and 5 for my medicine and daring.
Gain an extra eye.
Excellent. So you get an extra momentum. You're up to 3 momentum. Very nice. And so to answer your question, Amy, about the eyebrow, yes. Get an eyebrow back. And
It's
indeed,
actually
an
got
eyelid.
a little more mobility on it than it had last time.
Super wiggly eyebrow. Awesome.
And yes, you managed to successfully repair both sets of eyelids. Who knows their Vulcan physiology?
Anatomy, not me.
I bleed green.
This one as well.
That's about as far as it goes.
There is an inner eyelid that Vulcans have to protect them from the bright glare of the Vulcan sun.
Great.
Not like sharks.
Kinda. Yes, so that part, well done. That's all cleaned up. Meanwhile, over on the bridge of the Livingstone, so you say you're checking everything's there that you'd expect. Warp drive, impulse, weapons, shields, replicators are working.
2 wings, an upright wiggly bit, and the 3 sets of wheels, or everything else. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Anything else you're looking for?
Actually, I'm just going to basically go through it. I just want to make sure that nothing that's extra on the ship has been fiddled with or downgraded. They're not 8 clumsy engineers sealing off doors to certain things we needed.
Give me a specific. I'm gonna drive you down to a specific here.
Can we make sure that they've not done anything with the cloaking device and/or access to my yacht? Sorry, the captain's yacht.
You find no evidence of a cloaking device or a captain's yacht.
Oh, they've pinched on me. Someone's come in and removed all the cool stuff.
That's looking on the computer system, yes.
Ah, yes, of course. Right.
But it was already not there from beforehand, from ever since the captain came on board. It's not been there on the computer system.
Doesn't want to, yes, don't want to, yeah. Team. Okay, I might be worth me actually going and having a brief. Whilst we're waiting for the captain to come aboard, I might just go for a brief tour of the ship, just to sort of make sure everyone's in their stations, everyone's okay. Show a bit of management face from the bridge.
What's going to be your first port of call?
I think we'll go down to the forward area where the extra ship was located, and just make sure that she's still snaffled in her docking bay securely.
The nose cone. Okay, and as you walk up to the bulkhead that concealed the entrance to the captain's yacht, indeed, we'll cut back to sick bay. So what's the next stage, Dr. Bosh?
So I've rebuilt everything through there. I want to then attach the optic nerve to the sort of cable ports for the new eye.
Well, presumably you'll need to generate the new eye first.
Oh yeah, I'll go through
The
the replicator to build the new prosthetic.
Okay, so the standard version is basically like a version of, like, as we would know it, Geordie's visor, but in eyeball shape. It's never quite identical. It won't look identical to Davok's eye. It has irises that you can see sort of moving about and moving parts that refocus. And things like that. So the first question, really, or the only question at this point, what colour?
What colour's Davok's current eye?
What colour's Davok's eye, Amy?
Standard Vulcan colour. Brown?
Brown?
I don't know.
It can be brown. That's not a problem.
It could be blue. It could be violet sky.
Could be. It's unusual, but yeah.
I
Cross universe, how it's sort of like a Sith yellow.
Yeah.
Well, Data's information is probably in there. He had old yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Did.
Just remember what I asked for before I got knocked out.
I'll go for the brown that he requested. I do want to see what other things could be. How can we soup this eye up as much as what have I got access to? Or yeah,
Take a look at the optional upgrades.
The standard includes infrared, heat, magnification up to 1,000 times. What else have we got? All the stuff that Geordie had. So you can see electromagnetic fields.
Mm-hmm. And radiation possibly or something?
Certain types of radiation, not all types of radiation. Yeah.
Oh, Bosh, you need to fit it. You need to fit it with a targeting thing like Predator.
There are security upgrades that will basically, you compare it to a phaser.
Yep.
This is Mr. Davok. We can rebuild him.
Yeah. So actually, I'm gonna set it the color to be yellow, but all of the upgrades, and give it the option to change color. I just won't tell Mr. Davok.
If he pulls his ear, it changes color.
Oh, he's going to be pissed at you when he wakes up. If he was a human.
We've just created the 6 million strips of Latinum Vulcan.
I was gonna say that the ear tug to change the eye. It requires a code word though. Nanu is probably the.
Yes.
It's an old Vulcan term. I believe it's a city and a state, so they named it twice.
In the Shazbot district, yes. Okay, so It's going to be a yellow eye with, just so I'm understanding this correctly, with the ability to change colour, but to change colour requires both a code word and the tugging of an earlobe.
Why are you doing
Well,
this?
I think to try and wire it into an ear is probably a little harder, especially with Vulcan physiology. So it can just be color changed from a data pad.
Or maybe you could have like a touch activated button right in the iris.
No, come on. I've been putting up with this.
I will situate the button up Davok's nose.
So literally, like the tugging of the ear, all of this is quite. I mean, it's going to require a roll, but
I mean, I'm trusting it's outside your capabilities.
I am going to have the color change linked to a data pad, so he can change it to whatever color or stripes or. Also, actually, yes. What I want is that it can change so that if there's any point that Mr. Davok has to, I don't know, wear a bandana or something to pretend he's a different species, he can change the color of the eye to match whatever other prosthetics go on.
Or just match his other eye, you know, the one that's already there, and you could just copy, which is what he asked for. I mean, don't they make some sort of contracts between patients and doctors in Starfleet, so you can't just do whatever the fuck you want?
Can you see the many here, Davok? Bad luck.
Can you get a strobe effect, man?
Can I bring a medical negligence case like in Starfleet? Is that a thing?
So the color can be changed, but it can be changed from a pad. But I want
any pad or one specific pad.
Let's all ask for things.
Yeah. Please, Doctor, can you also make it that his eye flashes bright green when he's acting weird due to anything affecting him? Just so I know.
I'm going to say no on that one because anything weird is a bit vague.
Yeah. So, the eye could be changed, or it's changed from my access codes. Yeah.
Okay, so from your data pad. Okay. I'm going to ask one specific data pad or any data pad.
Any data pad that I can log into.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to log into it.
Yeah.
All right. Zankir.
But I want all the upgrades, everything that possibly can be put in. Let's do this.
Okay, you're making the role incredibly difficult for this, which I like. So, Zankir, do you have anything to say about all this?
I presume this is all happening while he's like generating the eye. I don't imagine he's having a conversation with me about it.
You're having to add things into the menu of the replicator, and that as well.
No, but you can easily see what he's adding there to it. Color changing.
Doctor, do you think this is wise?
I mean, who's to say what color Davok wants his eyes tomorrow? I'm merely building in thoughtfulness to.
I believe Davok is the one to say whether Davok wants to change his eye color tomorrow.
Exactly, and if he does, he'll have the option.
Okay, look, I'm here for this. This is very funny. We're going to do this, but let's at least let him change the. Let's at least let him change the color. Maybe keep access for it just in case. But
how about
give him access?
Just as a side, is that you make them brown, but the code word is allowed you to change the color of Davok's eyes, but he won't know about it.
But that was my plan.
Oh, that's way better. Yes.
Yep. That was my plan for the login, was that they were going to be brown when he looks in the mirror. Then they will just be different colors throughout.
Okay.
Bosh is just like,
yeah. This is fine. If Davok thinks they're brown, then that's okay.
Every time he turns away from a mirror, they turn back to acid smiley faces.
I
So-
can't wait to see what happens if you roll 20 here, man.
Yeah.
You know how on Zoom today we can put filters over the top of things. It would be possible, Dr. Bosh, to put a filter over Davok's own eye so that Davok always sees it as brown.
Oh,
Ooh.
saw his eyes.
Ooh. No, because I want the amusement to like look in the mirror, have the what, and then change it back again.
Oh, right. So creation of this eye with every single optional extra. It's going to be a difficulty 5.
Of course it is.
I'm going to spend threat to say, Zankir, you've been called away on a counselling emergency.
No help.
Well, I guess that's my cue, Doctor. Good luck.
Right. Difficulty 5. This is going to be daring and medicine. You have 3 momentum. What would you like to do with it, if anything?
Well, that will only get us 2 possible dice because 1 momentum got is for 1 dice, and your second dice is going to cost 2. So, if you want to blow it all on 2 extra dice, Doctor, to make you a roll of 4.
I mean, you could have just picked an easier role and then, but, you know.
You just given him a patch and turned him into a pirate.
Now, tats. Do talents give me anything?
I don't. Do you have?
Do you have any?
Yes.
Are you daring in cautious in medicine?
No. I have feet. Well, I have. La la
Do you
la.
have like a daring medicine
Yeah.
or anything useful?
Your talents will tend to give you re-rolls on stuff. So, like.
Depending on what it is. What are your talents, Dr. Bosh?
I have bold security and help. I have quick study that I'm just trying to remember what it does. I have field medicine, and I have never placed friendship above profit.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
no
can
profit
see-
to be had with this, so that doesn't apply. It's
Oh,
not
there
out
is
in the field.
there is plenty of profit to be had by having a crew member that could do all sorts of things.
Is it a lot of profit when it costs you your friends?
I mean,
Okay. There is 1. No, I'm gonna.
You're just going to have to
overrule
roll well
myself
and
on
buy 2
this.
dice.
So
and
mind
does my-
control is not an option. Just so you know.
And does my trauma surgery still? Because this is still surgery, fitting it all together, and it was a very. traumatic
So the
area.
creation of the eye, no.
Oh, this is on creation. Okay, I've still got to fit it yet.
It's still medicine. The fitting is a different role. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The creation is still medicine because you're producing it from the medical database, but you have played about with it an awful lot.
I will take the 2 extra momentum, please.
Well, actually, I
2
think
momentum.
so you can also buy a dice by giving Stu threat as well. So that's another option to get a full whack of 5 dice.
And just for my memory, if I get below the discipline, that gives me 2.
Yeah. So what's your
Yeah.
Focus.
what's your medicine?
My medicine is a 5.
5. Yeah. So equal to or less than that is
But your focus doesn't apply to this, right?
No,
Oh,
So yeah, that
no.
doesn't count.
no. But every Starfleet symbol is 2.
Medical compounds use and cost. No, okay.
Nope. It's not a compound.
Okay. I will. Yeah. So a threat to get and one more roll.
Okay, so you're spending your 3 momentum to get 2 extra dice. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes you 4.
And then you're giving me threat to get another one.
It's 5. You assisted by the ship.
Yeah.
So 6.
And you are assisted by the station's computers. Let's start with that one. Amy.
So
roll
yeah,
us a D20.
before
Oh, go on.
I'd forgotten about the
Yeah,
ship.
no, hang on.
Rolled 11. Whatever.
Rolled an 11.
Nice. Mm.
So the station's doing some of the work for you there. That's
But
one
do we-
success.
So do we need? Is this? I'd forgotten about the ship.
In which case, that's one of the dice of your maximum pool of 5.
Yeah. So in that case, we can't buy because I took 4 dice already. Didn't know about the ship, so we can't buy the threat.
I know that the
Oh, yeah, we
station's
don't need to-
effectively assisting, so that's different to that's a different
Oh.
pool.
Okay.
Unless I've misunderstood those rules completely.
Fine.
No, he said it now. GM said it.
Yeah.
Roll it quick.
No, I'm happy for you
Everyone
to have
heard it.
5
That's
dice
going in the
the
book.
way we've played it.
I don't
Okay.
understand. I'm happy for you to have 5 dice the way you played.
Sorry, that's my watch trying to overrule me.
It was only going to be a matter of time.
Silence Siri.
I didn't get a Starfleet symbol,
Oh,
but I got a 2.
Oh, very good.
I got a 4.
Excellent.
I got an 11
Oh, very good.
and a 12.
Oh,
And,
All of which
and
are under the 14 that I have as my.
oh yes.
that's
And
one
what
for the
else
ship.
did you get? What was your last dice?
The final one was an 8.
You get a momentum
Nice,
back.
so we get a momentum back.
Oh, you've made an eye that Odin himself would like to have.
Yeah, if you push the extra button, 2 ravens appear.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, you have crafted a thing of beauty.
It's like the most all-powerful eye. Sauron would be like, "Ah."
Yeah.
That was surprisingly stressful.
Yeah, I should hope so. Doing a bunch
Now-
of things without my consent.
Let's see, because these rolls have been going so well so far. That can't last forever, so let's see if Dr. Bosh ends up trying to fit it with a lump hammer after this break. Back in a mo.
hailing frequencies are open.
And we are back in the room here with Star Trek Livingstone, back on Season 3, Episode 1, and it's not disappointed so far. Oh my goodness. Should have named the episode Shenanigans. Hi, Ben Kerno has joined us in chat, so hello to you. Heidi, hi, indeed. Thank you, Captain Quinn. Welcome back, indeed. Yeah, so a little bit more lighthearted, this one, isn't it?
It was Shenanigans Kirk.
It's only because Davok is unconscious that it's lighthearted.
We were having a discussion in the break about what was Captain Kirk's original middle initial, according to TOS. It was yes, that's right. That's right, yes. So that's from Charlie X when he produces the gravestone. But was it that Charlie just got it wrong? That's the question. Anyway, that's got nothing whatsoever to do with what we're doing here today, which is making weird eyes.
It's like the best thing ever.
It's like the worst episode of Blue Peter ever.
Just in case anyone doesn't know, I have a massive eye phobia, so this has been lovely.
I think I remember this now.
Yes, I think you should.
I think it's written down in my show notes.
Yes. Yes.
That's all right. We'll fix it in with a fairy liquid bottle and some sticky back plastic.
Yeah, right as rain.
Yeah.
I can
It was
see
when
that.
somebody mentioned the idea of having a big button on the outside of it that you just press. Oh.
Yeah, it was literally. I was coping fine until
Sorry.
like, yeah, let's touch the eye.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's funny.
I completely simple. There's a reason why I wear glasses and not contacts.
Exactly, right? Who wants to put contacts in when you just wear glasses?
So you don't want a story about some...
No, you don't even need to go any further with that. Thanks.
What we do want, though, is a story set in the far, far distant future, on board a space station with some very, very funny shenanigans going on. So let's bring ourselves right back into where we left off. And Bosh is marvelling over this beautiful, fully functional eye that he has created. Not like Data fully functional, that's another thing.
Jesus wept.
Meanwhile,
I reckon it's going to be so massive you won't fit it.
Wraal's in front of a bulkhead.
Sorry, Wraal was just considering whether there should be like a springy thing on the eye as well. No. Came to me in a moment of pure comedy. Yes, the bulkhead. Now, on the other side of this, it should be ship's yacht Henrietta.
Yeah, how do you plan to get past a bulkhead?
Yeah. Where's the door? There wasn't necessarily hang on, wasn't there like there's no access panel or anything, isn't there? Roy, there was a way out
that you can see.
Right. Okay.
We did have one before, right? There was a
There was
way to
basically
get through, right?
Yeah, there was basically a hangar access to the captain's yacht, but it isn't here now.
None that
That's
you
not
can
right.
see.
Okay, I'll put that one down as one to mention to the rest of the crew, and I'll head towards engineering where there should be that particular extra little room where our cloaking device should be that we're not to use unless we're specifically told to.
Yes, the little area that you didn't have access to start with, you wouldn't know. Okay, you head to engineering. There's a wall, and you were given to understand that the cloaking device was the other side of the wall.
Right. So yes, again, basically I've come across a brick wall here, literally a large metal adamantium bulkhead. Oh, great.
Yeah, metal, not brick, but yes, that's the basic upshot.
Right. Okay. I'll make it look as much as possible to members of the engineering team who are no doubt wondering why the commander is just walked into engineering and is staring at the wall. I'll make it look as much as possible like I'm supposed to be staring at the wall, and I'll head back to the bridge.
Actually, with very few crew on board, there was nobody in engineering or on the bridge.
Thank goodness for that. I'd
passed the odd person in the corridor, but yeah, that's it.
Thank goodness. I'd hate to look foolish.
Okay. where to now?
Actually, I might just actually no. I'll head to my quarters for the moment. And see about potentially seeing if I can send some sort of encrypted message out into there and just sort of say the extras have gone, and leave it as that.
Who are you sending the encrypted message to?
I'm just going to put it in as a open log entry, because I'm pretty sure that the people who put those bits and pieces in for us will see and spot everything that happens on this ship, including log entries. So I'm going to put that in just as a sort of log entry from my own quarters.
Okay. You can certainly do that, and just because obviously you'll be very aware you do have a Section 31 liaison communications officer.
But I'll do that, and then I'll go and make contact with Zankir afterwards, whilst he's presumably still busy with his lack of being able to help in the eye, the epic eye creation.
No I in team.
There is a me.
But there is an I in meat pie, and meat is an anagram of team.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, you do your open log. You make discreet contact with Zankir, and Zankir, you get called away on a counselling emergency.
Another one.
It all ties together,
goodness,
see?
okay. Well
It all ties together.
Anyway, when you've finished with your counselling, they've got rid of all the nice bits. But I'll talk to you later. You go and counsel.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
I'm presuming the
emergency.
counselling is yeah. Yeah, the counselling emergency is a clever ruse for me to come speak to Commander Wraal.
Absolutely.
Which I will do. I will head towards the Livingstone.
And we fast forward a little bit in time to this beautifully created eye that Bosh is now going to ram into Davok's eye socket.
From the back.
So,
just put your hand over just to catch, just in case.
I need
Now
to
that's
put in.
frontier medicine.
We need a new doctor on this ship.
So because of all these various extras that you've got applied at the moment, yeah, this is not going to be an easy role to get everything connected up properly.
Just had a nice normal eye.
It's going to be a difficulty for. And hello to Amy. Ensign Amy has joined us in the chat. So hello. So Ensign Amy earlier, who dropped off a computer to me.
Good.
There we are. Random thing to say, but there we go. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, Matt's looking at me very weirdly, but yes. Anyway, so this is going to be with with assistance from the station again. Difficulty 4. You have a momentum.
Mm-hmm. So that's 5 dice max you can get.
And it's going to be a what?
Sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
you need to know what it's going to be. Daring and medicine.
Daring over insight.
Daring over
I
insight.
mean, you're...
Or presence.
Nope.
I mean, he
Daring.
is inciting Davok.
It's daring. Live with it.
Okay.
You can only the reason it's daring, you can only keep someone sedated for so long before there starts to be a deleterious effect. And basically you've only got a limited amount of time to do this.
Can I decide on the threat before rolling, or is it a see where we get to and buy more? I can't remember.
Ooh, good question. I'll hand that over to Rules Corner. Ed.
Sorry, I was typing up. Restate the nature of the rules inquiry.
Do I need to buy additional dice before I roll, or can I roll and then go, I want another one?
In the strict letter of the law, you must build your pool first and then roll it.
There we go.
Yeah, I feel like otherwise there's no real stakes. If you can just roll and then say, I'm going to buy that momentum or use that momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm guessing you're going to spend your momentum to buy a dice, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think that would be probably. And so you've got the two for the start. Buy one with momentum. Does the station assist?
Station assists.
There we go. So that's 4. You can only get one more.
And my focus will apply this time.
No, it won't. You've dealt with the trauma.
Oh.
So to get that last 5th dice, only other option is gives you one more threat to buy dice.
Triage?
Nope, that's determining which patients to deal with first.
No, I feel like he dealt with one trauma, but he's about to inflict an entirely fresh trauma.
Yeah.
This
is
that will be
traumatic,
a whole
so-
different set of roles when we get to it.
Yes.
This is a traumatic surgery.
Oh, Ben's asked an interesting question. Can you use a determination point?
Oh.
As long as you can link
Do you
it to your
have any?
value. Can you link what you're doing to one of your values? Then yeah, you'd use your determination to basically have an automatically rolled 1 dice.
I can always find things for people.
No, that's too much of a stretch, I'm afraid.
That's rummaging through the quarter.
I like creativity, but
Yeah, I was going to say distrust of female authority figures, but Davok's male. A clear head for negotiations doesn't really fit.
well, if you were deliberately trying to sabotage, actually, you're trying to make Davok look silly, aren't you? Davok, who has recently been made a lieutenant commander.
The Davok is male.
That's getting closer to Dr. Bosh's rank.
Like security officers, but won't show it.
I'm going to say the distrust of female.
I'm male.
Of course,
Davok's male.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry, forgot. No, then. Okay.
Well, I've learned that
Good
one of
thinking,
my
though.
values has been broken. I cannot lean on my friends, literally. They'll mess up my eyes.
Okay, I'm going to buy threat
You're going to buy threat.
because I want to make sure this.
So 1 threat for a full pool of 5 dice.
Okay. So one of those dice is the station.
Yeah.
So Matt should roll 4 dice. Amy, you roll the other one.
I rolled a 16.
16. No help from the station, Doctor.
No pressure.
Oh, there's lots of pressure.
Around the eye socket of Davok at the moment.
I've got a 5, an 11, and an 8.
And
I don't know yet because I don't want to roll it.
Well, wait,
You
what's
only
your...
need one more
Oh,
success,
no, your
mate.
focuses don't apply. Yeah.
You only need one more. Go on, make that roll. What you're rolling against? 14, is it?
14.
Easy.
Does meat speak?
Yes.
14.
Yes, it does.
Ooh,
Oh, he
close.
nearly slipped.
He sort of hovers over the nostril and then just last minute shoves it up to the asshole.
Yeah. At least
And
it's hopefully that if I look at someone, it will look like I'm looking at them.
And after an hour of connecting delicate processes to neural threads, to optical cables, to nerve endings, you're on the last one, and your fingers are starting to shake with the tension of it all, and you just get that last one, and you almost slip, but you catch it just in time as you make the connection and pop the eyeball back in with a.
I feel sick.
Do.
Can we all appreciate for a moment the fact that, knowing full well there is a time limit on keeping someone under, Bosh stopped to make the eye during the procedure. He was that confident in his own abilities.
No, he had to wait until Davok was unconscious to make that
That's
eye.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make sure he couldn't hear any protests against it. No, I don't want that.
Okay. You can start bringing Davok round now. That'll be a slow process. And for Davok's part, the first thing you'll need to do is keep the eye deactivated until Davok is awake, and then it's going to be a long, slow process of rehabilitation, essentially switching parts of the eye on one at a time for Davok to get used to it. It's going to be months of rehabilitation, which means that'll give us time to get used to the idea of what having this bionic eye is actually going to mean in game, because I haven't got a clue at the moment. So,
It's got to be in there somewhere.
as we go, Zankir, you've just arrived at the quarters of your first officer.
It's been a long walk from medical bay to here. If Bosh has had an hour to work on that. Zankir arrives out of breath.
I just walking around the ship as it is, so I've arrived.
Commander, you requested my presence.
Yes, Mr. Zankir, come in, close the door.
Very well.
No one saw you come in, did they?
I don't believe so.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Not that it really matters anyway. They've gone.
Who?
The extras. The ship's extras, the nice bits. Yeah. I went down to check on all the extras that the section had added. Walls, literally, bulkhead walls in the way.
I was concerned about this.
So have they removed them, or have they just blocked our access to them? Are you able to contact the section? I've put a log out on my log, not the other type. See you thinking that. I put a log out. Hopefully they'll see that and at least know that we know that they've done that. I mean, they're going to know we are. But I think it'd be at least nice to know why.
I have had some communication with the director. Not much, but bits and pieces. We have to be very careful with scrutiny the way it is currently. They feel that we have been a bit brash and loud with our actions lately.
I had some pretty nice toys to play with.
Yes, and especially with McGill poking around the engineering deck now, maybe they worried that something may be discovered.
Well, that McGill isn't going to be a problem because Admiral Janeway has moved him off the ship. So apparently she's recommended to the captain that Davok take over in chief engineering role. and his qualifications are suitable. They certainly do the job, but I'm a little reticent. I'm a little reticent about taking him off science station for the moment. That's for the captain to decide. But anyway, the captain's mole is not going to be a problem anymore.
If those things are still here and just hidden, I much prefer Davok being there than someone we don't know.
Agreed. Actually,
that being said, it seems strange that they would reassign Davok to engineering if those things weren't still in place. There doesn't seem any reason to get rid of McGill if there's no risk of discovering anything.
Well, the order to get rid of McGill came from Janeway herself, so we can assume that the hand of the section is at play there, which helps us immensely because McGill and the captain are, or were, particularly close. So if that means that we can either bring the captain more into our confidence or more easily keep him out of the loop, I think.
I have been meaning to have conversations with the captain just to gauge where he stands. Unclear as to where his allegiance fully lies yet, but I plan on talking to him fairly soon. We've been somewhat busy of late. I haven't had the chance.
Haven't we all? Well, I mean, certainly the captain has already saved us from ending up the rest of our careers in the dilithium mines. So I think we can certainly say that he is, if not an open ally, certainly warming to us.
Yes, but I will schedule some one-on-one time with him when we get a second, and maybe we can, if not sway him, at least open the possibility.
Excellent, Mr. Zankir. In the meantime, we'll carry on as normal. Obviously, we don't have access to some extra bits, but the Livingstone is still a particularly potent piece of equipment around this expanse. So we'll just have to do the best with what we've got in the normal way.
Agreed.
Well, I'll leave you to your day, Mr. Zankir.
Yes, I should probably go.
How's Davok?
Unclear. Mr. Bosh was building the new eye for him as when I left, but Mr. Davok was out for the procedure. I trust Dr. Bosh.
I trust we'll get an excellent upgraded Davok at the end of it, if I know Bosh.
I'm sure we will. There were some upgrades being spoken about as I was leaving. I believe Bosh may have gotten a little carried away, but I'm sure it will be fine.
So what we lose in the ship, we gain in our Vulcan. I'll take that as a trade. Thank you, Mr. Zankir. I'll speak to you later,
Commander.
You know, Davok's
make
not
my
transform
escape.
into a captain's yacht.
Say the right word.
Right. I mean, time is getting quite late, sort of ship's time now. It's certainly late of an evening. Captain, you've presented your report to the Admiral, who has read it and gone quite pale.
Is there time for me to have a quick poke around and see if I can find anything out about, is it Project Protostar in the ships or the station's data banks?
All you can find is that it is a top secret project.
It's not that top secret if you know the name of it.
In that case, I will content myself with sending a message to McGill on his private communications, and we'll see if anything comes back from that at some point.
Okay. What are you sending him?
A pretty innocuous open message, just to see if I can make contact with them. First of all, saying, I heard about your transfer. Best of luck with your new project. How is the new posting treating you? This kind of thing.
Okay. You send that off to his sort of. He'll have his own pad number kind of thing. his email address, basically.
Yeah.
You send that off to him, and yeah, you certainly don't get an instant response. But that's not unusual.
I think, yeah, that's to be expected at this point, sadly, with the secrecy. So I suppose report submitted, I'll make my way to the Livingstone as well.
Okay, you make your way to the Livingstone. Commander, are you just staying in your quarters now?
In the meantime, I'll be presumably I will be monitoring and supervising getting the crew back from the registration post-bury and sweep back to their stations, making sure everyone's knowing what time they're to report back for duty and where they're going.
Well, the ship itself is docked. There's no, unless you wish to set a specific time for people to muster, everyone's stood down.
Okay, well, actually, in that case,
I'll told not to.
That's true. Actually, I'll just go over duty rosters, etc. Make sure those are all primed for when we do get to mustering time. But other than that, I suspect we're waiting for orders from above, which we don't have at the moment.
Indeed not.
But I will communicate that to the captain wherever he is, whenever he's coming back.
Yeah, you can tap your badge, and you tap your badge and just as the captain walks onto the bridge.
There you are. I say Captain of the Bridge, but there's only me here. Captain Livingstone seems to be checked out, shiny, cleaned, ready to go. Obviously, the crew are all on board the station, aside from minimal skeleton crew monitoring all systems as usual on a rotation basis. We can. I've reviewed ship's rosters and any upgrades, downgrades to staffing as necessary, and we're ostensibly ready to move out when we get any orders to move.
Any word on Mr. Davok's recovery?
I think we should contact Dr. Bosh and see if Davok is in a position to be moved from station medical to Livingstone's medical. But I believe the procedure went well. I believe we've got a few upgrades on Mr. Davok, which may be at least interesting for the future. And as far as I know, he's got one eye extra back and hasn't lost any others as he already had this morning.
Open the channel to Dr. Bosh and ask the doctor what the situation is.
Very well. Doctor from Wraal, are you there?
Hi, sir.
How is Mr. Davok? Should we be recalled to duty? Is Mr. Davok in a position to join us on the Livingstone and to continue his recuperation here, perhaps on lighter duties?
Definitely much lighter duties. Mr. Davok is going to need probably a couple of days before putting him back on his feet.
Very well. We will allocate him some lighter duties, and obviously you can on board the Livingstone. We can obviously have him continuing his recuperation under your careful care.
Can I? Yes. Sorry, aye, sir.
Captain, just to know, I don't think anyone's told Reggie what happened. I don't want to do it.
I'll break the news to him, General Commander Wraal.
I think it'd come. I think knowing what Reggie's like, so I think it'd come. It'd be best coming from senior.
Very well.
You know, he's with the chain of command. He's very respectful of that. I mean, not as he would be against me, but I think right from the top, yeah, that's where you'd expect to hear something like that.
Meanwhile,
I think from
just to interject, in the mess hall of the station, Reggie has just heard a rumour from somebody passing by the medical bay that Mr. Davok's been injured.
Oh no! All we're going to hear is a loud Andorian roar. dear.
So,
Now I
Reggie
do
mindset.
I do have a focus in Andorians, so I can probably calm him down.
That we could he goes bursting into the medical bay.
Ice pick at the ready.
Well, is that what Reggie would be doing then? Heading straight to the medical bay?
As someone who knows Reggie quite well, Reggie is very definitely rushing to the medical bay immediately to see what has happened to Mr. Davok, and comes basically running in through the door, but not into. I presume there's like a separate surgery area, like an ICU bit.
There it was, but Davok's just basically on a bio bed resting.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, Reggie will basically come in and just screech to a halt, seeing that Mr. Davok is on the bed there. So, oh, doctor, what happened to Mr. Davok, sir? I've heard the worst.
Got caught in a bit of phaser fire. Took the brunt of it, unfortunately. All good though. Has a new eye.
Oh, he's a brave man. He's a brave man, is that Mr. Davok? Have I ever told you, sir? Oh, I have a great deal of respect for Mr. Davok.
Is Davok?
Is he going to be all right, sir? Can he see?
Is Davok awake yet?
No, Davok is sleeping.
Okay.
I mean, you can wake Davok. Are you sorry?
No, don't wake me up.
I don't want to disturb him, sir. Not if he's resting, sir.
No,
as long as I know you're looking after him, sir, I'll be
Yeah.
fine, sir. Can I come and see him tomorrow, sir?
Yeah, I just see what you think of the work, Reggie. And while Reggie looks over, I just want to type the code, and I want to turn that eye into it's sort of an Andorian pigment. Just quickly,
You'd have to pull the eyes, the eye open.
Oh,
because obviously it's closed because Davok's asleep.
all four sets of eyelids as well.
I mean, you can try and do it carefully if you want.
It can wait, Reggie.
I just feel like this one's fine. It's the other one that you're going to have trouble with.
Well, it looks like you've done a lovely job there, Doctor. Look at that. You hardly know. I mean, apart from the scarring and the awful burns around the whole of the side of his face.
Oh no, they've gone. They've all been rebuilt.
The line of staples.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised you didn't offer him the option of a scar, Doctor. I would have gone for that myself.
I offered him a Martok, but he turned me down.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. He looked very distinguished with a scar. He would very distinguished indeed. Well, I'll leave him. I'll leave him to rest. I don't want to make too much noise. I'll come back and see him tomorrow if that's all right, Mr. Doctor, sir.
Quite all right, Reggie.
I'll go and tell the others in security that Mr. Davok's all right.
You do that.
And Reggie sort of has another look and then leaves back to the mess hall, a little relieved, I think.
Davok, it's up to you whether or not that woke you up and you decided to feign sleep.
I was sleeping. As to whether or not I was awake, that's up to you.
Whatever. Oh, it's Reggie.
Okay. So is there anything anybody would like to do before sort of calling it an evening?
Are we going to start next time with Davok up and about? Or is it going to be...
Yeah, you think, after a good night's sleep, Davok will be, up and about. You reckon maybe a couple of hours sort of rehabilitation therapy a day, getting used to this new eye, introducing new elements of it slowly. Should be okay, but that's like a couple of hours a day. Rest of the time, Davok, well, the hardest part initially will be Davok getting used to having a single eye and getting used to the depth perception thing. But beyond that, no, Davok should be fine.
Okay, so just skip forward slightly to Davok. Kind of, we've done the montage of him getting better. And
no, we're not skipping that far ahead.
Okay. Well, I
skip forward a few weeks. We've solved the problem with the Tilly Carl.
No. It So, season 4, anybody?
That's a great one.
I just like, even if it's just an aside that doesn't sort of, but Davok's got the eye working, and Bosh is going to bring him a new skipping rope, and just say, push that connection button there when you want to skip.
I am happy with my skipping rope, thank you.
You want to try this one?
No, I don't.
Shame.
Curious. Cutting back to this evening, though. Yeah, is everyone kind of done for the evening?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm out like a light
Yeah.
after all of
Everyone
that.
heads down in their own quarters again on the Livingstone. Some of you will be very glad to be back on board the Livingstone after the Gantar Torres. Oh my goodness, won't you just? And you all fall into this nice, deep, restful, peaceful sleep.
I don't trust
Wraal.
this.
No, me neither.
You
I
suddenly
was just
wake
saying,
up.
Reggie absolutely has a sleeping hat with holes in it for his antenna.
No, Reggie's fine, but Wraal, something, you've no idea what, has caused you to wake. And as you wake, suddenly, you become aware of a presence in a room. Somebody sat in a chair down near the foot of your bed.
Oh, hello? Who's there?
Mr. Wraal, comes a familiar voice. Takes you a moment to realise this is Director Bashir, whose voice you can hear. Would you like to get your pip back?
What's it going to cost?
Everything.
To have a go.
Write me a list under security lockout. Doesn't matter what security lockout, I'll still be able to access it. But write me a list of all the personnel currently serving on the Livingstone that will not be coming over to Section 31.
I think I can figure that one out.
Sleep well, Mr. Wraal.
Thank you, Director. Good night.
Good night. And he settles back into the chair. And I'm guessing,
Why are you just
you
going to
close
sleep
your
while
eyes.
he's-
I'm literally peeking out of the cover of that thing. That is weird.
Well, the weird thing is that the moment you take your eyes off him and you look back again and he's not in the chair.
He's Batman.
40 planets like that.
He's Bashir Man.
Rather disturbed, I turn over and basically have a look, make sure he has gone, and then turn over and go back to sleep if I can.
Definitely gone. Although your uniform is piled up on the chair in a way that looks like it might be sort of somebody sat there and the shadows catch it right.
I'll go back to disturbed sleep and dreams of lists.
Right. Well, I will say for gameplay's sake, let me know when you've drawn that list up. But I will leave that in your capable hands. The next morning arises. Livingstone senior bridge officers report to Admiral Hubbard. Code red.
Oh, crikey, that's us. Everyone, Captain, we with you?
Make haste, yeah. Head through the corridors.
And indeed, yes. And Admiral Hubbard is there, pacing the floor. Yes. Good morning. Sorry, you've probably not had your breakfast yet. We need to move fast on this. USS Nightingale. Are you familiar with it? Science vessel, Nova class. Anyway, they've wandered into the neutral zone, and well, I'll let their words speak for themselves. And he pushes a button on his console, and you hear a transmission. This is Commander Alison Lewis of the Federation Starship Nightingale. A navigational error has caused us to enter the neutral zone, and we have exchanged fire with a Romulan warbird. Captain Blake has been killed in the attack, and we have lost main power. Warp drive is offline and ship systems are down, but life support is good and holding. Repairs are underway, but we have lost most of our engineering crew. The Romulans are claiming we are now prisoners of war and insist they will take us to Romulus for trial once their ship is repaired. We don't want to give in to their demands, but we also don't want to start another war. Starfleet, please advise.
Oh, don't go into the
I need you all to
zone
go
now.
out there and aid where you possibly can. Obviously, we don't have permission to enter the neutral zone on this occasion. Do what you can. Avoid an interstellar incident, please.
We will,
Avoiding
Admiral.
incidents is what we're experts at. Captain, I'll recall the crew to duty immediately.
On the double, Mr. Wraal. Let's make ready and get out as soon as possible.
And grabbing a pad, I basically push the big "everyone get back to work right now" button.
Okay, you do indeed. And yeah, you will cut forward to finding yourselves on the bridge as the ship departs Narendra Station. Slowly goes into warp. And that's where we'll leave it for this evening.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Off on another adventure with more Romulans.
Are off on another adventure. Instantly
Yay.
recognised
Stop
by Ben
sending us to the neutral
Curnow.
zone.
It is a nice adventure, Ben Curnow. It is.
Mm.
I like this one. When I read it. So yeah, there we go. Exciting.
How exciting, yeah.
Look at that.
So Davok's got a new eye.
Yeah.
It's got the heated
That's
seats
good.
and the rear view mirror.
Up
Yeah.
holders.
I mean,
Multiple colour change options.
I hope you put like a science scanner in there or something, you know. That's what I use.
I was at you missed out on the
Well, I just wanted a normal eye. That was fine.
the skipping upgrade was a work of wonder.
Mm.
It had a full skip counter and everything. It measured you get a little HUD up with like the rope velocity, the amount of skips you've done.
Amount of distance travelled vertically.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little spirit level to see if you're sort of favoring one side when you skip and whether or not like how's your balance, all of that in there.
I think with that limp, Davok is always favouring one side.
Mhm.
I would have thought
Yeah.
Vulcans had all that built in already. Certainly they're good at counting, that's for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, but you've got to have a HUD up there, don't you? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can count past my fingers and toes, so I think I'm pretty good at that.
I can
Vulcans
count
have
things that
toes,
are
don't they?
past my fingers. Yeah.
yeah, I can count to 23.
Yay.
Actually, I probably can't do that now. My depth perception's all fucked.
yes, that's something to get used to. You're going to be
Yeah.
either missing
Walking
the
into
console
walls.
completely or punching it far too hard.
Yeah, don't expect any like accurate scans to be pointing in the wrong direction.
That's not going to go down well.
Nope.
And what about this Section 31 shenanigans then? What do we make
Yeah,
of that?
please don't put me on the Bashir's hit list. Don't want to go to the gulag.
Isn't that an interesting plot point to add in there? Yeah, I mean, you're turning up at the bottom of the bed like the smoking man in X-Files.
Well, I actually had a different
slowly turn up
character
at
in mind.
the bottom of his bed.
Yes. Exactly like Sloane did.
It's like clearly Bashir has taken some lessons from his induction into Section 31.
That's
Whether
the
Wraal wants the
thinking.
ship back or not.
Yeah, also,
The power.
The responsibility. At any point did Wraal ever say he really wanted to be captain until he had a go at doing it?
I did like how
What's it going to cost me? Everything. Oh, yeah, all right then.
All right. Yeah. Oh, just that. Yeah.
I did like how Amy suggested he was like Batman, which actually Alexander Siddig hasn't played Batman, but he has played Ra's al Ghul,
He has.
who was the person that taught Batman to do Batman-y things.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
Yeah, it's
with
gonna be
that
some
accent growing
interesting-
up where he did, I bet he had a Batman.
Yes.
Yes, I think next game, I think there's going to be some conversations betwixt the Counsellor and the Captain, just to make sure he's not on the shit list.
Well,
Or to
that'll,
guarantee that he lands there.
Yeah,
That'll be
either
fine.
way.
as long as there's no emergencies taking place in neutral zones or anything like that.
I'm sure
Just
it'll be fine.
Time and a place for
The
conversations.
routine missions.
To be fair, Bashir's change about it costing everything, I had a bit of a flash to Alexander Siddig in Kingdom of Heaven. But it actually, to the other character of Saladin, who, when he asked about what is Jerusalem, everything, nothing, everything.
I always forget he was in Kingdom of Heaven.
And Game of Thrones.
He said, "Well, a great
Yeah,
liar, and he will
briefly.
kill you because he is a great liar."
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Is anyone watching Last of Us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yes, not yes.
good. It's good.
Is Alexander Siddig in that?
No, but we were talking about
it's
good
not-
telly. So
It's not
Pedro
the
Pascal, isn't it?
CNZ.
yeah,
I mean,
that's all you need.
the man who plays his
DeLorean.
brother in Game of Thrones is in
Yeah.
The Last of Us. So
See, it's all connected.
it's all connected.
Everything. It's one.
Oh, yes,
it's
yes,
not a multiverse. It's one verse.
Yeah. Although he was good in The Mandalorian. Pedro
Yes.
Pascal, not Alexander
Yeah.
Siddig.
Yeah, not Alexander.
Alexander
Siddig.
Siddig was shit in The Mandalorian.
Who's in the Mandalorian?
He was.
He wasn't.
in The Mandalorian.
I've not seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No, that was right.
Right.
Anyway, on that bombshell,
Anyway.
thank you
We should
everyone.
let these people go.
Yes.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. It's so good to be back with season 3. Oh, I've missed all this, and I've missed all you fellows and peeps.
Me too.
Indeed. So yes, the Fellowship of the Ship. So yes, join us again in a fortnight's time when we'll be back with episode 2, and we'll see what happens from there. Gosh, I can't wait to see where all this goes. In the meantime, you don't stop playing because you get old. Anyone finish that off?
You stop getting old because you stop eating people.
Eating
That's
people
about
is
it.
bad.
You
Just to say.
You play
You
it
get
pretending
old
to be old.
because you stop playing. Anyway. Live long and prosper, everyone. Take care. Bye.